this is Kalies von Kreatives Leben, and this is the third part of my cooperation work with das Tinchen. And here you will see you will see how I put together all the pages into an art journal. And this is the cover that I have already started. This is basically done with vegan leather, kind of paper, and I am just creating structure because my objective today is to create a cover that is steampunk style because she likes vintage. So I thought it would be fitting and it would also fit the colors that she has in her art journal. And here you can see a little mistake. The doily that I had stick down has come off, so I'm sticking everything back on. And I'm removing some of the structure paste. It's a gold structure paste that I have, and you will see the purpose is really to create structure of any kind. So I'm using whatever I can find that has structure. So this is a feather I found at the Dollar Tree or something similar that we have in Germany, and I'm sticking this down with structure paste. No, not with structure paste. This is it structure paste? I'm not sure actually. Yeah, probably it is. Light molding paste. That's what it is. And I'm taking it away with needle because I don't want to create. I don't want the structure paste to create or the molding paste to create new structures. That's why I'm going in. I am putting down a little bug that I found somewhere for jewelry making, and basically I'm sticking down everything that I can find. And you will see now I'm not going to bore you with all the details. I'm going to the next phase where everything has been stuck down. It's quite large, so I need to put quite a few things. And now what I'm doing is basically painting everything brown. I'm using my Van Dyke brown from Schminke. It's a great brown. I really like the color. And the objective is to mate down everything. And, you know, I have a lot of white, I have gold, I have, well, different colors. And that's why I wanted everything to be in brown. And then I will be using a steampunk approach, which is basically highlighting some of the structure and make it more funky and shiny because I love shine. And this is what I'm doing. Could have used gesso. Most people use gesso. I found that black would have been too harsh, especially considering what I have underneath. So that's why I have decided to keep very similar to the color of the vegan leather. I wanted it to be a brownish brown. So that was my objective. And putting color down, making sure I go into all the crannies and I don't forget anything and that nothing is white. And now I'm going to pick some color, and the purpose is now to highlight the structure. And for that, it's very important to have a very dry brush. Here you are seeing me using a brush, and I'm using different colors. This one is from Viva Decor. It's Maya Gold in avocado green, and you can see now how my little butterfly really pops. And I'm going to do the same with other parts of my painting. This is a silk color, I think is mango, no, papaya. And this is also from Viva Decor Inca Gold in Champagne. So it's basically adding gold, adding some of the colors that I already used in the art journal to, yeah, to make it blend in with the rest of my of what is inside of the book. So I didn't want to bore you with more of it. You know how to do it now. Now I'm showing you how I'm binding all my pages. If you recall, I was planning to bind my pages in 3 signatures. I've decided to do a different kind of binding where I bind each page individually. Right now I'm using my ale to create 5 holes. You could do it with 3 holes, with 4 holes. this is as you choose. The important thing is to have a template, which I have here, and I'm basically using this template for all pages and to drill my holes. And here I'm using my needle to take out a little bit a hole that wasn't going well. So I have finished doing all the pages. They all have their holes, and now I'm going to bind them together so you can see they all have the same size. I have already put them in a certain order. I know where is the upper part and where is the lower part. And I'm using now a needle, of course, and I'm using some floss. Yeah, it's kind of a thread, a wax thread that I'm using in turquoise. I felt that the color was going well with the rest of the book. And what I'm going to do now first is going first through the upper, I think, yeah, the upper part of my page. And I'm just going in, and then I'm going into the next closest hole. And what I'm going to do is going to surprise you, because I'm just going to go out and in again in the same hole, because I want you to create a little loop. And this loop is very important for binding the next page. So I'm doing this in the second hole, I'm going to do this in the third hole, and I'm going to do this in the fourth hole. So I'm going to create 3 little loops that will be standing out, and that I will be needing to be able to thread um, and to bind 2 pages together. And basically, this is a great way to bind as many pages as you want. It can evolve as you have more and more pages, so to say. It is beautiful from the outside, the way it looks, and it just takes some time, but that's usually what you need if you want to do your own art journal. You always need some time. So you see me tearing a little bit, making sure that I don't lose my loop, my first loop. I'm creating now my second loop, and I'm going to create a third loop by going into the fourth hole, similar to what I did before. This is real time, and the reason this is real time is because I was doing this in German. So I was talking while I was doing it, and for the English version, I have kept most of it. I have made it a little bit faster for you, so you don't have to wait as much as the others. But if it's not an easy way, and it's not very easy to explain, so basically I've created 3 loops, and now I'm getting into the last hole. And here I'm not going to create a loop. I'm going to go and uh, go into the next page. And you remember we started at the top. Now from my next page, I'm going to go at the bottom. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to bind both pages together. And the first 2 pages are slightly different to the others, and the third and continuous pages are going to look the same then afterwards. So you see I have my 3 loops. I came in at the top, I'm coming out at the bottom, and now I'm taking my next page. I will have to turn my page around to recall where everything is. And I'm going into the first lower hole of my second page. And here we go. Oh, it's the opposite. Yeah, but you get it. You started somewhere else. So now you go into the next loop, the next hole, and now you are going to go through the loop with your thread. Basically, you are going to catch the little loop and bring it back into the hole that you have, into the second hole. So you go through the loop, and then you go back into the second hole. And you will do the same for the third, the fourth hole, basically going through all the loops. And the thing that so what is really nice about this kind of binding is the way it looks at the end from the back. What might not be so nice is the way it looks inside. So especially if you have a face like her. I mean, in most cases, you would not create the page at the beginning. You would paint afterwards, after you've done your art journal. So you could do something on top of your stitching. But this is, I think this is part of the beauty of the homemade, self-made art journals. So here we are. I'm going to the second loop, and I'm going back into the third hole. And now I'm going into the fourth hole, getting into the third loop. And yeah, my thread is quite long, so I have lots of knots. This is something I have to struggle with, but we'll get there. So I'm pulling everything, making sure that there is no knot. And once I have gone through the third loop, I'm going back into the fourth hole again. And then we have already stick 2 pages together. And now I will have to pull so that everything is even, and you have to make sure that both pages are close together but not too tight. So you have to pull a little bit to find out how much thread you need and play around. But I'm not going to show you this. I'm going to go directly into the next page, and I'm going yeah, so we came out at the bottom. Now we are going in at the bottom of the third page. So you see now everything is nicely fitting, and now we can add the next page. You see how this looks? Yes, this is what I wanted to show first before I add third page. And again, you see the threads. And for the next page, you go, so here it's ready. Make sure that it's the right side up and or down. Go through the lowest hole into the second hole, and now basically you are going to go, it's like knitting. It's like you create a loop to get between both pages, to bind this third page to the other 2 pages. So you see me going with my needle here in between both pages and creating a little loop, and then I'm going back into my second hole, and I'm going to repeat that for all pages. So I'm going to go back into my second hole, then I'm going to get out at my third hole, into my third into my third no, into my third hole, into and to create my second loop. So here we are. Okay, I hope this was clear. I hope you can replicate that. And now I'm going to show you the end result after having stick down. So I glued down my inner pages to my cover. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't done so. And please also check Tinchen's channel to see what she has done with my pages. And see you next time. Bye bye.